Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of our Sheffield United RTG as we kick off Season 3 with our Blades. Really looking forward to cracking on into this summer transfer window as we need to rebuild the squad as we push for European football. So if you haven't seen the previous episode, I would recommend going back to watch as we just missed out on European football as we sort of fell apart towards the latter stages of the season. Heading into Season 3 today, as I say, and we've got a big transfer window ahead of us. We need to transform this team and make it ready to push for European football this season. That is my main objective in the Premier League this season, is to qualify for some form of European football. So we've obviously got loads to crack on with today, with it being the new season. The first episode of a new season always takes ages to record and film. So if you do enjoy, please do smash a like on the video. So we've actually got a massively bloated squad, 50 players, as we've got so many youth players out on loan. So as you will see here, we've got quite a few players transfer listed for this window. So hoping to shift all of these on. Quite a few of them not really going to bring in much money, but I just need to clear these guys out of the squad so that we can reinvest. So you can see we've actually got quite a few players with their contracts up come the end of this season. Mohamed El Neni, Jamie Vardy and also Danny Ings all retiring come the end of the campaign. So one more season with Danny Ings before he retires. But yeah, lots of players with their contracts up come the end of the season. Most of these I'm going to shift on. I was hoping that Norwood was going to retire, but he's still going, Ollie Norwood. So I'll leave him and Davis for now. We'll see how they get on during the season. But the rest of these guys I'm probably going to look to shift on. And actually, before we get into anything else, I'm going to promote Georgios Dimitriou into the senior team. This is obviously the youth system as we left it at the end of last year, but Georgios is going to get a pro deal. He's been in the academy. I think we might have got him from our first or second scouting report from Greece. So we're going to add him to the loan list. He's an exciting prospect and I really like the look of him. Want to get him out on loan like we've done with the likes of Nicholson and a few others who have developed really well on loan. Patrick Nicholson looks like a great little right back. Cannot wait to get him back next year. Alright then guys, so the first thing we're going to do as always is send our scouts back out. Now I'm really not too sure where to send them this time. I think there's every chance that we can send our scouts further afield, but we need to decide where to go. So I think Charlie Davis this time around, our chief scout, we're going to send him out to Africa. I'm not too sure where to go. I think it's between these four countries here. And I think I'm going to go for Cameroon, looking for the next Samuel Eto'o. 9-month mission for Charlie Davis. Archie is going to go back out to England. That's my choice. I like to always keep one of our scouts in the country that we're currently in. And for Theo Vaughan, I quite like the idea of sending him to South America for some tough South American lads. And again, not too sure where to send him, but of all of these countries, I think the one that's tempting me the most is Uruguay, looking for the next Luis Suarez or Edinson Cavani. So Theo Vaughan heading to Uruguay for 9 months. So there it is. We're in Europe, South America and Africa as well this season, looking to find some more gems for this Sheffield United team. And we're now just going to sim one day in the calendar as that will kind of kick off the new season. All of our players will head out on loan, who we've already agreed deals with. And we'll also lose Amad Diallo as well, I believe. So here we can see loads of emails coming through. So there are a couple of players returning from loan here, returning back to us, of course. Our youth scouts are sorted. Amad Diallo's returned back to Manchester United. United, and we've seen a whole host of players leave on loan, as well as Andres Samaras, who was a Greek centre-back who came through the academy last year, heading to Bari on a permanent deal. So let's take a look at our finances for this season. It's 45 million, so it's not too bad, or 44.5. It's roughly around what I expected. And let's just jump straight into the transfer market, as we need to massively rebuild this squad. And we're going to jump straight in with the signings today with our first one here. Free agent Emil Forsberg. Really like this one. Into the final years of his career. Spent a lot of time with RB Leipzig in the Bundesliga, of course. Really like him, as we've never had a backup for Luka Sucic. We had, of course, Angelo and Amad Diallo both come in on loan last year for 6 months each, but we've never had a permanent solution for those cup matches. So Emil Forsberg still got a bit of quality about him, brilliant technically. He does want to be a crucial first team player, but he is going to be behind Luka Sucic, so he will be our first signing of this summer. Going to give him 40 grand a week. Hope that he's happy with that, which he is. And Emil Forsberg is our first signing of season 3. So really happy with that first signing. He is going down in his stats, but you can see technically he's still a class player. Losing his pace, of course, but he's not a slouch. And I think at 33 he will bring some experience to this squad, as we know we're looking to try and push for European football this season. Really happy with that one. I'm going straight in with signing number 2, as we are now an established top half Premier League team. Leandro Paredes. This is quite a big signing for a team like Sheffield United, but been released on a free, and for someone who can play both central midfield and slightly deeper in the CDM role, I think this will be a great signing for us here. No one in talks with him at the moment, so we will take a punt on him. And it reminds me a little bit of when Esteban Cambiasso joined Leicester City. He's not quite at that stage of his career yet, but an Argentine moving to the Premier League. Welcome, Leandro Paredes. So another signing I'm really happy with, a man in his early 30s, so getting on a little bit. Not the 30s old, of course, but I was thinking to myself with those two signings, are they maybe too good for where we're at, both European pedigree players? But I thought to myself, would they move to sort of top half team in the Premier League at the moment? And I went, yeah, I could see possibly Nottingham Forest or a Brentford or one of those teams picking up a player of that pedigree. So both of them are in for the new season, and that kicks off our transfer window with a bang. So with those two new signings in the door, we need to start shifting some players on. You will have seen that there was a bid for Adam Pearce and now Roman Willis, both accepted. So these guys never really going to make it, so looking to just get rid of them now. But there's a few of the first team players that are transfer listed that I'm looking to get rid of, as I think Adam Pearce's transfer to Craiova has gone through. I love the top knot, but thank you, Adam Pearce. Your time at the club has come to an end. 940 grand into the coffers for it. Couple of interesting bids here, one for Andrew from West Ham United, but I think we did finish above West Ham in the end, so gonna keep Andrew here for now. Had a pretty solid first season for us. And bid here for Ben Osborne from Norwich into the final year of his contract, and one of the players that is transfer listed for this season, so I'm happy to accept that. I think the squad depth is good enough now, especially with us not being in Europe, so we're going to look to try and invest that money in some big names to push us to European football. There goes Ben Osborne, another one of the OGs departing the club to join Norwich, where he'll join up with Seamus Allen, our loanee, who had a pretty good season there last year. Also Roman Willis departing the club, so good to start shifting on a few of these guys. Another bid here for one of our transfer listed players, Getafe, coming in for Anis Slimani. Didn't get a lot of football last year. Now at 24 years of age, not really grown to the sort of potential that we would have hoped for. Gonna try and squeeze a little bit more money out of the Spanish side They're stuck on 2.3. We'll ask for 2.4. And we have a deal. So hopefully Anis will be heading to Spain, as I don't see him having much for a future here. And there's another deal going through. Jili Buyaba heading to the Portland Timbers in the MLS. Another man that's never really going to make it, and he was taking up space in the squad. So another one that bites the dust here at Sheffield United, as we are being ruthless so far in this window. And there's another one. I think that might be Slimani. Yep, heading to Getafe. Thank you for your service, Anis, but it's time for a new chapter. Now, I'm going to make my next move here, and it's a former Blade, Harry Maguire, of course, came through at Sheffield United, I believe, before moving on to Hull, Leicester, and then, of course, Manchester United. And with us looking to sell Austin Trusty, I'm going to try and include him in the deal, see if they'll be interested in taking him. Maguire is in the last year of his contract. And no, instead they want Andrew Omobamidele, which I'm not going to go ahead with. How about taking Jamie Vardy, lads? Do you want the Vard stuff? Plus 7, we'll go 7 million plus Vardy for our next bid. No, they just straight up want 8 million. Okay, I'm going to play hardball here. 7.75 million. And we have reached an agreement with Leipzig. Harry Maguire looks as if he is coming back to England and back to Sheffield United. Buzzing with this one. So we've given him a 3-year deal and a 40 grand a week wage. I'm just going to try and get rid of those bonuses, or at least bring them down. Okay, 42. We'll go to 80 plus 42 grand a week. And Harry Maguire is in. The slabhead returns back to Sheffield. Couple of years out in Germany after being released by Manchester United, where it never really worked out for him. We know that, of course, Maguire is not the quickest, but he is a very solid defender. And with us looking to make European football this year, it will be a big help having someone with his experience in the squad. I'm really happy with that one. Maguire is back in Sheffield. Well, West Ham have come in for another of our centre-backs here, Jacob Greaves this time. But again, don't really see that as a step up moving to West Ham. Couple of loan bids for the Dimitriou, who came through the youth system. So I'm going to delegate both of these. We'll give him the option to either take a step down to the English Football League to play for Coventry City, or to head out to Portugal to play for, I think that's Aruca who put the bid in. Yeah, so we'll see where Georgios decides to go. So even after that signing of Maguire, still 36.5 million in the bank. Still got a couple of players that I want to shift on before we look to bring anyone else in. Desperate to get rid of Fraser Forster. He's handed in a transfer request, but nobody wants him. So a couple of deals going through here, I believe. Georgios has decided to join Coventry on a 2-year loan. So pretty happy with him staying in England for that. Well, with Leeds going back down to the Championship for this upcoming season, I saw that Darko Giabi, I think it is, was still at the club, and I'd love to bring this guy back to the Premier League. They want a 3% sell-on clause. Yeah, do you know what? You can have that. 2 million quid. He's in his final year of his contract with Leeds, and I think this guy, with the future that he's got, is way too good to be down in the Championship. So Darko is in on a 4-year, 10 grand a week deal. Slightly smaller signing than those that we've seen at the beginning of this window, but one for the future, as I think he could be a great signing in a few years' time. He could grow into an absolute tank. Another deal going through here, and I believe that is Femi Siriki to Stoke City. 1.1 million, but again, another one of those, just happy to get him off the books. Still got such a massive squad here with 49 players in the team. Another bid here from Norwich for Ryan Brewster. Norwich love taking our players. They took the young lad, I've forgotten his name, the young Northern Irish lad on loan. They've taken Osborne from us, and now they're coming in for Ryan Brewster as well. And I quite like that deal, keeping him in England. So Ryan Brewster is off to join Norwich City. Never really lived up to the hype, and they're building a pretty decent team down there in the Championship. Maybe we will see them making it to the Premier League for the upcoming season. We've made it to the 1st of August now, which does mean that we have our first scouting update from our 3 new countries. Let's take a look if anyone makes it. Starting off with Cameroon, I think what I'm going to do this year is, instead of doing the sort of monthly updates, is just show you the players that do make it into the team. For this first month, we'll do it as we have been. Alassane Dabo looks like he could be all right, as well as Mustafa Keita. But yeah, what I'm going to do from now on is just show you the scouting updates if there is anyone who makes it into the youth system. First from England for this season, no one quite making it just yet, and Jake Park we will actually reject due to the low overall. As for Theo Vaughan from Uruguay, Canales not good enough, another Canales, Iglesias and Parra we will continue to scout for now. Looks like he could be okay. So we've still got 4 players on the transfer list. We've just accepted a bid from Craiova for Jordan Amisa, so I'm hoping that will go through. Forster, we just can't seem to get rid of. We've not had any bids. I don't know if it's because he's due to retire, maybe. The same with Jamie Vardy, because he's retiring. We've not had any bids. And Trusty, obviously, still out injured. So we have shifted on a lot of the players that we wanted to get rid of. So far, we've brought in Paredes and Forsberg on a free, Darko Giabi from Leeds for 2 million, and Harry Maguire for 7 3/4 from RB Leipzig. So still a decent bit of money in the kitty to play with. We've not had any bids as of yet for our big names, which is the one thing I was worried about heading into this summer window. But there is one man that I desperately want to bring in, another returning to the club. I believe he is in the final year of his contract at Union Berlin, and with Danny Ings retiring at the end of the season alongside Jamie Vardy, Ryan Brewster already leaving the club, I'd love to bring Dominic Calvert-Lewin back to England. Now, I'm going to chuck Austin Trusty in the deal to see on the off chance if they're interested. They just want a flat fee of 16.5. We'll go back with 16 million. They're adamant on 16.5. And I'm happy to pay that for the former Sheffield United and Everton attacker. Let's get him back to Bramall Lane. So a 4-year deal on 45 grand a week for Dominic Calvert-Lewin sees him return to Sheffield United alongside Harry Maguire, both coming back to the club this summer from abroad, both from Germany actually, and really happy to get him in. He becomes our joint highest rated striker alongside Cameron Archer. And with Danny Ings retiring and continuing to decrease, I was a little bit worried about how many goals we'd get out of him last year after his brilliant season for us last campaign. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is the answer to that, and I'm hoping he will fire us into European football next season. So we're just seeing Jordan Amisa's deal here going through to Craiova, also joining up with, who was it, Adam Pearce, who departed at the beginning of the transfer window. So I'm just simming through here, and we're getting close to the first game of the season as River Plate put in a bid for Trusty. A bit early to maybe be heading to Argentina, but it is the first one we've had, so we will negotiate with them. Yeah, I'm just a bit surprised we haven't had any big bids for our sort of star players, the likes of Vinny Souza, Lucas Sucic, who were both brilliant for us last year, even Hayden Hackney, Gustavo Harmon. None of the big clubs have made any approaches for those guys. I've probably just jinxed it, as I think I've just seen a bid come in for Souza, but it's from Almeria. I don't really see that as a massive step up in his career. They have offered Enciso, but I'm going to reject that. I think Vinny Souza would much rather stay here. We have had an offer for Adam Davis here from Anderlecht, and I am happy to let him go in the final year of his contract. 33 years of age, and with Fraser Forster looking like he's not going to go anywhere, I'm happy to let him go and bring in a new second choice keeper, as we've just had another bid for him, this time from Sturm Graz. So Austin Trusty is off now to River Plate. Never really worked out for him in English football, of course. Was at Arsenal, made the move to Sheffield United, but those 2 ACL injuries just put him further down the pecking order, now leaving to join up with River Plate. So another of those transfer listed players gone as we close in on the opening day of the Premier League season. So I believe that is Adam Davis departing the club. Did make a couple of appearances for us in season 1, not so much last year, and he has decided to join Sturm Graz. So with that in mind, I'm going to go out and buy a new second choice backup cup keeper, and that is going to be Zach Steffen, the former Manchester City man. Was at Middlesbrough as well, I believe, on a loan spell, but he did a decent job for City whenever he played in the cup, apart from those couple of howlers that he made against Liverpool in, I believe it was the cup final. Wants to be an important first team player, which isn't going to happen with Bazunu in front of him. 3-year deal, and we'll give him a 30 grand a week contract, which he has signed. And Zach Steffen will join as our cup keeper behind Gavin Bazunu. So we're just a few days away from our Premier League opener here. Bid for Josh Brownhill from Brentford, who we did finish above last year. Would he want to go there for more first team football? Potentially. 29 years of age now, so I will negotiate with him. He was pretty solid for us whenever he played last year, but we definitely could get a little bit better. And with money still in the bank, if they'll give us 8.5 million or around that mark, which they have, I'm happy to sell. Good profit on Josh Brownhill if he does decide to switch Sheffield United for Brentford. They were pretty close to us in the table last year, so I don't blame him if he wants to head there for more first team football. And just before our Premier League opener, Josh Brownhill has put pen to paper on that contract with Brentford. It's a pretty decent sell. It's 2.5 million over the market valuation, and considering he signed just 12 months ago on a free, I don't mind him leaving. It does leave us a little bit thin in the central midfield positions. Obviously, we've brought in Giavi from Leeds, who can play there. We've got quite a few CDMs, but in terms of actual central midfielders, Hackney, Koulibaly, Gus Harmer, and of course Leandro Paredes, who signed this summer. So definitely a position we may look to improve in between now and the end of the window. It's not been quite as crazy a transfer window as I thought we might have, with some big bids coming in for our key players. So I'm going to squeeze in this Premier League opener here. We are at home to newly promoted Watford, so we'll jump straight into this first game to kick off the new Premier League season, where we're desperate to start with a win. Oh, I already know I haven't sorted out the kit numbers for this new season. Shouldn't be too much of an issue in this first game, and I will try and address that before we head into the rest of the season. But not too many changes to our lineup for this opening game. Calvert-Lewin comes in up top, but other than that, it's good to have Ryan Giles back down the left-hand side. And our squad is looking a little bit thicker, and we've got a little bit more quality in depth as we head into this season. Great chance for 3 points on the opening day as Watford travel to take us on here at Bramall Lane. Of course, we started off last campaign like a house on fire. Really good start to the season, and if you remember, we were top for a period of time before slowly dropping away down the table. Oh, Giles has done well to nick that. Archer pokes it on to Luka Sucic, and that is why I'm surprised there was no bids in the summer, or there hasn't been as of this opening day of the season. Luka Sucic at it again. So whilst we're in the transfer window and there's a lot going on behind the scenes, I'm probably going to stick to the same sort of highlights package that we saw over the first couple of seasons. But towards the end of last year, we did massively speed it up as Watford find their equaliser. Ashley Fletcher levels up. That is very frustrating. Yeah, as I was saying, we did speed up the gameplay and the highlights last season towards the end, and I quite enjoyed having lots of games in the episode. So if you do enjoy that, let me know. And I'm thinking heading into season 3, I'm going to try and pick up the pace as I really want to progress with this save now. Well, that equaliser's thrown a bit of a spanner in the works. Vinny Souza does do well there, and we're on top and looking for a second, and we've now been pegged back. Calvert-Lewin, who's not had a huge amount to go off on his debut. Sucic bends it in for his second as Archer nicks that back, and Sucic is on the run again. Porteous with some defending to do, loses out to Sucic, can't be doing that, and Luca bends it home for his first half hat-trick. What a start to his second season with Sheffield United, and we look as if we're going to go and pick up the 3 points here. Harmer swings the ball in, Calvert-Lewin's under it, and it's a debut goal for DCL on his return. I'm really looking forward to using him alongside Archer this season. If we can keep our front three fit, there's no reason why we can't claim a European spot this year. 4-1, and that should be game over now. Greaves, surely not. Oh my goodness. Oh, nearly caught Buckman out. Oh, that had my heart in my mouth for a second. I thought that was it. Still trying that halfway line goal. Well, there is the whistle, and it's the perfect start to season 3 with our Blades. Luka Sucic back to his best, and a debut goal for Dominic Calvert-Lewin as well. The perfect start and 3 points on the board. So guys, that is where we will leave it for the first episode of season 3 of the RTG career mode. If you have enjoyed, please do smash a like on the video, and we'll be back in the next one to close out the summer transfer window. So if you have any recommendations, let me know down below, and I hope to catch you for the next episode very soon, and peace.